Dr. Pepper t-shirt goes hard. If you don't like Diet Dr. Pepper, you're cringe. What can I say? Today, we're diving into 3 practical ways you can start making better financial decisions starting right now. For those of you that are new here, my name is Dante. I am currently a financial analyst, and I have experience both professionally and personally in the analysis, auditing, and accounting world. I have dedicated the last 6-ish years of my life learning everything that I can about personal finance and financial literacy to correct the mistakes that my parents didn't teach me and help other people not make the same mistakes that I did and teach us everything that we should have learned in school. Let's start with the basics. Understanding your needs versus your wants. This is going to be your very first thing. It sounds simple, but it really is a game changer. Needs are the essentials, obviously. These are things like food, housing, utilities, mortgage payments, rent payments, healthcare, all of these things. These are the things that you simply just physically cannot live without. Wants, on the other hand, are the extras. These are, the daily coffee run, my adult milkshake, venti caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino with no whipped cream and almond milk. It's the new gaming monitor that you just bought. It's the newest pair of shoes that just came out. It's the new purse. It's all these things. These are not necessities. These are just wants. They aren't necessary for your basic living requirements. Before making any purchase, you want to ask yourself, is this necessary? This habit, believe it or not, can be really helpful. This helps me cut down on my want spending and prioritize my needs, because these are things that you can't really afford to not pay for. So asking yourself that can really help clarify if you really think it's a need or if it's a want. If it's a want and you think it's a need, maybe sit on it for a week or so. If you still want it, if you've been thinking about it for that long, it's not impulsive or anything, but as long as you understand that needs versus wants, this is really the first step into understanding how to make better financial decisions. The second thing that you can do in order to help yourself make better financial decisions is to create and follow a spending plan. Now, I use the word spending plan in place of the word budget because budget kind of has this stigma of they're too strict. I don't feel like budgeting. I don't want to make a budget. I don't know how to make a budget. To that, I say, you made the sandwich, bro. Like, a budget is only as strict as you make it. In my opinion, I think a budget isn't necessarily about being as strict as possible with your money. I think it's quite the opposite, actually. I think the main purpose is to give every single dollar a purpose and, a destination to go to. You would start by listing your income and all of your expenses. This allows you to see where all of your money is going. Doing this, you can get a big picture idea of where all of your money is going and a better idea of what areas you can cut back on. Say you're spending too much on takeout than you thought you were, or you bought one too many anime body pillows. A spending plan gives you a really good visual on exactly where your money is going, and it allows you to create where you want your money to go. And, if you review it and renew it regularly, it should help you plan out your finances. Again, you made the sandwich. You can adjust this as your life continues and, changes. If your situation changes, you can adjust how much goes to your necessities. If, say, you just won the lottery, you can allocate that into your spending plan. Although, there's argument to say that if you won the lottery, you don't even need that, but I'm not even getting into that, man. What the hell? Follow a spending plan. The third and final tip that I have for someone who wants to make better financial decisions kind of rolls off of the last one in terms of a spending plan, and this is to maximize savings and plan for the future. Now, what I mean by this is to set aside money each month, put this towards any emergencies, put this towards retirement, 401ks, employee match, stuff like that, or even big goals like, if you plan on buying a house in the future, set money aside so that you aren't forced to take out the maximum amount of debt in case, your car breaks down, you lose your job, anything like that happens. This is built into the spending plan, and I have a video on this. It's an older video before I decided to switch formats and revamp the channel, but the concept still remains. 50-30-20 is a good spending plan rule to loosely follow, 50% of that being your needs, 30% of that being wants, and 20% of that going towards debt, investments, savings, etc. I mention this because if you have a lot of high interest debt, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for you to start building your emergency savings because your 27% Apple Card bill is just going to be eating away at your income, and it would make more sense financially for you to get those credit card debts down before you start trying to build any kind of padding or cushioning with emergency savings or down payments for a house or anything like that. This kind of goes along with step 1 as well. Only you would know this when you analyze your current situation, analyze your needs and your wants, because debt payments, minimum payments, credit card payments, stuff like that. Those are kind of falling under needs because you have to make those minimum payments or else, you're going to get fucked in the ass by late fees, penalties. It's going to tank your credit score. So I would consider that a necessity. And 20% usually is for savings and planning for the future. But again, depends on the current situation. You never know in this day and age. You could lose your job any second. Your car could evaporate into dust tomorrow. You never really know. And having that is supposed to help. And I think it's beneficial even just for the mental aspect of it. When I have my emergency savings, I just feel more at peace because I'm not stressed on like, what if I lost my job tomorrow? To recap, the 3 things that can help you make better financial decisions are to understand your current situation and understand your needs versus your wants. Again, this will depend on the specific person, but take a look at your needs, everything that you actually need to survive versus your wants. And then that would lead to step 2, create a spending plan, kind of analyze your current situation, not too restrictive. You made the sandwich. Third thing, maximize your savings and plan for the future. Again, I would only put all of this 20%, for example, towards savings after you've already paid down most of your high interest debt. Doesn't really make sense to put all of that towards your retirement or emergency fund if you have this high interest debt just eating away at your income. Pay those down first, and then you can start planning on big purchases maybe in the future, like mortgage down payments, car down payments, stuff like that. Kind of want to plan for the future so you aren't forced to take out more debt in the future, and you're kind of alleviated mentally in terms of having that comfort and cushioning and padding in your bank account. And this is going to be a separate video, but don't put it in your Chase savings account. 0.01% makes me want to kill myself. Use something like Marcus. PayPal even right now is offering 4% for a savings account. I use SoFi right now. I think that one's at 3.8%. I'm going to make that a whole other video, but don't just leave it in your 0.01% Chase savings account or whatever Wells Fargo is doing right now. I hope these are actionable for a majority of the people watching. I figured these were, pretty basic, but kind of overlooked steps in order to make better financial decisions. This is something that I see searched a lot on YouTube, so I thought I would, give my own input on this, given my experience. You implement these strategies today, start being more aware of your current situation and whatnot, and I think you can be well on your way in order to make better, smarter financial decisions and kind of set yourself up for success in the future. I hope everybody is having a good day. I appreciate everybody for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.